And then you do now have widespread testing of asymptomatic people. When people are going back to work, you have businesses saying, hey, go get tested. And it's not just the state sites. I mean, we really expanded the drive-through and the walk-up sites, and now we have pop-up sites at retail locations. And that's thousands and thousands and thousands of tests a day. But you have many more thousands on top of what the state's doing. You have the hospitals. If you go into the hospital for something other than COVID, you're still being tested for COVID. Obviously, when you're doing that, asymptomatic people, these are people that most of them don't have it, but some of them do, and then that will show up. So here's an example. This is all within the past week. So there was a migrant worker from Miami that went up to this watermelon farm, was positive with COVID. They figured that out. So then they tested 100 workers at the watermelon farm, and 90 of them tested positive. I don't believe a single one of them had symptoms. Maybe one of them had symptoms. The rest were asymptomatic. And so that's a 90% positivity. And part of the reason is when you have workers like that, they're living in really close confines, sometimes multi-generational, but the real close extended contact in those living conditions is really conducive for having this spread. And then look, 90%. 90 positive cases in one round of testing. I mean, in our drive-through sites, it would take you several days to get 90 positive cases with all the people going through. Probably the whole week you couldn't even get 90 at most of them. So this is really, really significant. But this is basically doing what health departments are supposed to do. You had an industrial factory example, Central Florida. Somebody tested positive. They went and tested and screened 214 employees. 77 employees came back positive. 36% positivity rate in that instance. But again, when you see this, 2 months ago, if somebody was positive, they would have looked to see if anyone had symptoms, and if they didn't, then people just would have gone. So you're identifying a lot of asymptomatic carriers when you're doing the mass testing in these zones.